Hi everyone, this is Jared Kwan back, exhausted from Comic Con, Salt Lake Comic Con 2017. As you can see here, I love this program layout. We had some phenomenal people at this particular Comic Con. I apologize I didn't stream a little bit more there. I wasn't feeling great. Plus, there were some areas where they asked me very politely not to record, and that's just fine. But I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the stuff that I was able to get from Salt Lake Comic Con and talk about my experience a little bit. Now, this year, I was a special guest again. I got to be on some panels thanks to some amazing people. I love and I'm very grateful for Dan Farr and Brian Brandenburg and Blake Castleman and Ryan Call and so many more. So many more people that are behind Salt Lake Comic Con that give me the opportunity to be on Salt Lake, be on the panels and participate. So thank you so much. Let's start off some of the little things that we got. I'm just going to show them off really quick. I got my every year I love going to the button booth because I have 5 kids and a wonderful wife. I have to make sure I take care of them, make sure I bring them some stuff home, right? So I started off with some, you can see a little Aku pin, but I got a set. That's right, the Scotsman, Samurai Jack himself. Of course, his love interest. I love these pins. They're always so well done. Let me show you a couple others. We're huge fans of Bob's Burger. So I had to get my wife, because she's big into visual arts and Bob's Burger, I had to get this little beauty. It's Art Crawl. If anyone's seen that episode, it's hilarious. The Art Crawl episode. Trying to get this to come in a little bit clearer so you can see it. It smells exotic, like ranch dressing. It's kind of funny because my wife was remarking that I got this, that at one point one of my daughters had said that in the van while they were driving to school in the morning. Here we go. This is my helper, by the way, Ruby. Here we go. I got a magnet here. Ruby picked this guy out.
No,
Oh, Lindsay picked. My other daughter I took with me. But this is what Ruby picked out.
Pikachu.
Pika! And I love this one. Lindsay picked this one out also, but it's because she knew that I'd love it so much. Because the captain said I had to. Alright. Here we go. That's one of my favorite things we got. These were on sale. Of course, everybody is selling fidget spinners these days. Like, everyone. Half of Comic Con had some sort of fidget spinner available to it. My daughter, Lindsay, requested one, of course. Got this beauty. It's metallic. It's very smooth and very quiet. It's a little shaky, though. Didn't notice that before. That was very affordable. This one only cost $10. Yeah, the rest of the fidget spinners were far more expensive than that. Here we go. Now, it was my son Jack. It was his birthday, and he's huge into Legos. So there were a couple different booths there that were doing some custom Lego pieces or reprints of uncommon Legos. And of course I had to get, that's right, Luke and the Emperor. And to complete the set, to make sure that I had the right pieces in place, of course, I had to have the Crimson Guard if you have the Emperor. And to make sure that you can replay the ending of Return of the Jedi, I have the man himself, Darth Vader. I am your father. That's what I said to my son, and he believed me. Now, just to have a little bit of fun, they did have some other custom Lego pieces. I love this metallic gold shiny C-3PO and the classic R2-D2. And it wouldn't be fun unless they could be running around the Death Star being chased by troops by my favorite villain of all time, Admiral Thrawn. Now, Timothy Zahn was there, the creator of Admiral Thrawn. He's such a phenomenal guy. He took the time to just hang out. I got to talk to him a couple times. He's thrilled that they've included Thrawn into the actual universe and didn't just outcast him to the extended universe. Got a couple of stormtroopers to back up Thrawn. Excuse me. And then I had to make sure. Now this is what I love this, of course, where some custom pieces, some Jane Urso going on here. I got some Director Kinnick. And to make sure that they have some guys to back them up. Also, I included some Lego pilots. These guys are pretty sweet. Now, my daughter Ruby had been wanting for a while a wand. She's a Harry Potter fan, and this is her brand new wand. It's a recreation of Harry's wand, and this one glows. Ooh, almost reminds me of E.T. in the screen. Anyhow. So she's got a wand now.
It came with an extra battery.
That's right. Extra battery. That was well worth it. And while I was there, I got to sit on the Iron Throne. That's right. Got to rule the Seven Kingdoms for about 5 seconds. Sit down, take my picture, and then it was somebody else's turn to rule beyond the Iron Throne. Now let's talk about some of my favorite artwork. Every convention I go to, I seek out a good friend of mine, Will Terry. He is a tremendous artist, and I highly recommend looking him up if you ever get a chance. And you're going to see why here in just a second. I purchase some of his artwork every single time I see him. Guy is phenomenal. This was picked up by my daughter. A little bit of Rapunzel going on there. And he makes these in these smaller versions, in the kid versions, right? Like the Iron Giant. Aww. I love the Iron Giant. And he's going to crush or eat that car. Here we go. My daughters really wanted Totoro. Isn't it cute? These are just adorable. I love them. Absolutely. Now, because my wife and I are huge Supernatural fans, we had to, of course, get a little bit of artwork that he had just barely come out with. Brand new. Here we got a little bit of... We got Dean in his car. In his Impala there. Oh, yeah. Kid Dean. I was geeking out. Last year, I got to get my picture taken in the Impala from Supernatural. And that was amazing. Of course, you have to have a little bit of Sammy going on there. Between you and me, I'm a Dean guy. Like, I really love Dean's character over Sam's. But nothing against Sam. He's a good guy and all. But it wouldn't be complete without Castiel. Right? You see the little Enochian symbol up there? Yeah. Castiel.
Or you could turn that into an idea bubble.
An idea bubble. Right, it could be. Also. Let's move these ones out of the way. Let's see here. Yes, I have to talk about this. I'm very fortunate in the writers community to be friends with some very tremendous authors and editors and agents. And I got this hot tip from my really good friend Lisa Mangum to pick up this book. It's called Frayed by Carrie Neitz. Now, Carrie is a brand new award-winning author. You can't really see that very clearly. Let's try to get it in a little bit more. Focus. Okay, it's not going to focus. Sorry about that. My bad. Anyhow, you should check out Frayed. It's an excellent book. Just barely came out. I'll read it to you really quick. He's a... Oh. Put that down. Haired Bear is a debugger. He's property of one of EM's vast pool of implanted servants. He lives in a smelly, greasy garage on the boundaries of the battlefield known as Delusion. All he wants is to complete his task, exceed his rival, Bullhammer, and stay alive. Possibly get a promotion. When a typical chore brings a thread into contact with sandfly and hard candy, these things get complicated. Day by day and task by task, he struggles with life, as he knows. Ideas plague him, and brutality vexes him, and women distract him. Frayed. You're going to have to check it out. It's great. Award-winning, just like I said. From the same group, I ended up getting another wonderful book called Breakwater. Got this one for my wife. The author described it to me as mermaids and love and death. Or was it murder? I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't had a chance to read this. Got this one for my wife. I'm going to just read the back for you really quick. As the daughter of one of the Mer King's trusted advisors, 17-year-old Jade has great responsibilities. When her fiancé murders a naiad, plunging the underwater city of Thessaloniak into uproar, tensions surge between the Mer and the naiads. Jade learns too late that the choices she makes ripples further than she'd ever imagined. And as she fights against the tide of anger in the city that she lives for scandal, she discovers danger lurking into every canal, imperiling her family and shattering the ocean's fragile peace. Breakwater. Check it out. Here we go. This next book that I got is from my very good friend Johnny Worthen. He's an award-winning author that I've known for some time now. Actually, 5 years now. We've been to a lot of events together. We've been on panels together at Comic Con. Actually, my very first Comic Con panel I was on had Johnny Worthen and Dan Wells and Larry Correia and Natalie Whipple, Dan Willis. Oh, I'm forgetting one, and he's going to be mad if I don't remember his name. Oh, Dan Willis and... I think it was Nathan Shoemate. I really hope I'm right. He's going to be so mad at me if I don't remember it right. But Johnny Worthen's What Immortal Hand. He did this was his book launch at Comic Con. And like I said, he's an award-winning author, and I think this is an award-winning book, to be honest. His tagline for this book, and I love it. He said it to me a dozen times, but I love it absolutely. Michael is called of God, just not that God. It's about well, let me read the back for you on this one. What begins as a routine investigation of a hijacked truck turns into desperate and personal quest for memories, faith, and meaning. The answers of these, from Michael Oswald, like the strangled cries of 1,000 murdered travelers, is found in the dark heart of an ancient cult of killers. Literally and dark. What immortal hand is a road trip across American wastelands into the depths of spiritual darkness, where the Dark Mother, Kyle, I'm saying that wrong, has set up house in the New World, and her children, the thuggy cult of ancient India, are alive and thriving. What immortal hand. You have to check it out. I love the fact that it's got the thuggy cult, which is also referenced in one of my all-time favorite movies, Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones. Put this over here.
Kyle.
This is what I love. My daughter reminded me. I almost forgot. My Little Squishies. I had no idea. I had no idea how popular these guys are. These little squishies are. Excuse me.
It smells like grapes. Smell.
Smells like grape. They can't smell. Through the camera at least. I also got a great book from my good friend Scott Bryan. I really want to thank him. I really appreciate for the gift from Scott Bryan. Now, I love this set. Huge fan of the movie Aliens, because it's Aliens, most of the series actually. And I had to get this as soon as I saw it. That's right, my very own Colonial Marine. That's right, he's going to save us. And no Colonial Marine is good to go. That's right, without a xenomorph and a face hugger. Yes. They're coming for you. Here we go. Now, while I was there at Comic Con, I got to meet several great people, one of which happened to be an actual Colonial Marine. That's right, Michael Bien. I love this. Stay frosty. He's such a cool guy. He hung out. We got to talk for a while. Excellent guy. Love all of his work, of course. I even thanked him for his work in The Rock, where he appears for all of 5 minutes. That also bred one of my favorite all-time lines. We spilt the same blood in the same mud. Let's look at a couple others that I got, actually. I got the opportunity to meet Rob Schneider. You can do it! He's such a cool guy. Yeah, he came right over. He shook our hands. He gave us a big hug. Rob Schneider is the coolest guy in person. It was great getting to meet him. Right up there, of course, was... see? I just had these in order. Sorry about that. Here we go. John Cusack. I told him, as soon as I got up there, he was like, hey, what's your favorite movie? And I'm like, it's Grosse Pointe Blank. I love that movie, Grosse Pointe Blank. Not that I don't love the others. And he goes, well, what's your favorite scene? I said, the scene where you stab the guy in the neck with the pen and Minnie Driver comes running up the stairs and you're like, it's not me. He goes, such a great movie. It's one of his favorite scenes, actually, from that movie. Wonderful guy. Shook my hand. Shot the breeze. Yes. Now, his sister was there also, but her line was too long, and I was unfortunately two things, right? It was too long, and by the time she was freed up, I was too broke to get her autograph. But she was right there, right next to him, and it was really cool getting to see them both. Now, this next one's one of my heroes, Christopher Lloyd. Right? I got his autograph on here, but because I'm a true geek, deep down inside, I had to get his autograph also. That's right, on his Star Trek picture. I think he was a very underrated villain. I think he was a tremendous villain. Now, this next one, I saw him on shows when I was when I was younger, but really fell in love with them a few years ago on a more recent show, and that is Corbin Burnson. I got to hang out with him. You know, I mean, he was great in Major League. He was really funny in Major League, and Ellie Law, he was great in that one. But really, it was Psych that my wife and I really started loving him. Great actor, wonderful guy. Just it was great getting a chance to meet him and talk to him in person. And let's see, I grabbed one more. My last one of my favorites. That's Zachary Levi. Also known as Chuck. And if you didn't see him in Chuck, he was also Wind Rider in Tangled. Or if you haven't seen Tangled either.
You said Wind Rider, not Flynn Rider.
Flynn. Thanks for the correction. Flynn Rider. Flynn Rider in Tangled. Or he was also in the second Thor movie as a replacement character, which was wonderful. He did a great job in that one. Now I did win this wonderful poster for attending the match game that most of my friends were on. I loved getting to hang out and go see the match game. It was run by Aaron Yeager, and he's one of the funniest guys I know. Absolutely one of the funniest. And up on the panel, they had J.C. Thompson. They had Paul Janess. They had Robin Glassy. They had Johnny Worthen, who I got his book earlier, and a couple others. But it was hilarious. Now I'm going to tell you the misquoted line from that panel, out of place quote that was awkward, was that they had wished that J.K. Rowling would put out more. Now the question was, what's the one thing that you would change, have J.K. Rowling change about her writing? Of course, they meant put out more works or more often. But that could definitely be taken wrong, right? I myself, like I said, was a special guest, so I had the opportunity to be on some panels. Got my own name card. I love getting the autographs of everybody I've been on panels with, so that I can remember them. This one was for the Family Feud. Tracy Mangum is now my nemesis, only in Comic Con video game shows. I hope they let us rematch next year. I did lose. Hate to admit it. We lost because of me. I just didn't answer the right question. I couldn't think of the survey was for which characters use a bow and arrow, and we had all the obvious ones on the board. We had Legolas. We had the Green Arrow. We had everybody, just about everybody you could think of on the board. But there was just one name missing. And I totally spaced it. And it was for the win or the loss. And I guessed Daryl from The Walking Dead, because he uses a crossbow, and bow's in the word, right? The answer was Link. I lost it because I couldn't think of Link. But that's all right. Next year, there was a trophy involved, so next year I'm hoping we get to rematch, which would be awesome. Now, oh yeah, like I'd mentioned, it was my son's birthday, and so I needed to get him something special. And we'd seen these over and over again everywhere we go, right? From Halo, the blades, right?
There's squigglies for electricity.
The squigglies for electricity, that's right. So what was great about these is that normally they would cost like $30 a piece, and I was able to get a deal, and we got these for $40 for two, which is probably more like regular price. So I'm going to share with you a couple of quick pictures. Let me see here. Let me set this up here. A couple of pictures I took from Comic Con. I can't share all of my wonderful pictures with you. Not all the ones that I would like to share.
We'll have to do that another time.
That's right, another time. Hold on one second. It looks like there's some technical difficulties. Let me try this really quick. See if I can't get this fixed. Huh. That's really odd. Here we go. I think I got it. I think I got it fixed now. Sorry about that. Here we go. I'm going to share some of the pictures I took from SLC Comic Con. We'll show you the others another time, but here we go. Of course, no Comic Con is good without some of the Game of Thrones characters going on here. Cersei looking good, right next to Jon. Got some Arya going on. Heck yeah. The IT crowd. This was probably one of my favorite cosplays at Comic Con. Walking around. The sad pieces, not very many people knew who they were. I mean, she was walking around with the internet, right? Anyhow. They were great. Now, the Lich King here on the left, and of course all the gawkers back there. The Lich King, he was amazing. His armor really clinked. There's metal in there. He actually won the Salt Lake Comic Con's Best in Show for cosplay. It was incredible to see in person. And he stood, I want to say, at least 7 feet. He had some thicker shoes on and really put him up tall. He was impressive. Bravo to that cosplay.
I saw him, I think.
And then, yeah, you did actually.
Yep,
and then we had the Flashes, multiple Flashes. And there's where we met, got to take our pictures with Rob Schneider. Like I said, he was super cool. He's like, let's get in for a close hug. Let's get in, hang out, guys. What's going on? Like, he was super awesome. And there's Zachary Levi. And just in case you're wondering, so like everybody would have assistants that would take pictures. He is a tall guy, and his arms really reached out there. And he was able to take the picture of both of us. With his very long arms, and he's kind of intimidating in person. He's very good looking and very smart and very engaging in person. I love this guy, Zachary Levi. And I had to conclude with this picture. This is actually my good friend JC's wife and his sisters-in-laws, and they wanted to make sure that I wasn't just taking pictures of the not well clothed or people who needed to have more clothing on. Comic-Con happened to have a bunch of those. Excuse me. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit. I had the opportunity to be on the Doctor Who Life Lessons panel. And one of my favorite things about that, besides my good friend Robin moderating the panel, which she did a phenomenal job, by the way, was getting to engage the fans. The room probably held about 350 people, and it was packed. There were people standing around the edges of the room, and we really got the audience involved, and it was a really touching panel. Some of my favorite moments came when we were reflecting on, of course, who our favorite Doctor is, and some of our favorite lines from the TV show. And both of those lined up for me. Matt Smith is my favorite Doctor. And I didn't think he was going to be. When I first saw him, I just thought he was goofy and funny. But it was great seeing Matt Smith really grow and develop. And then it was actually his very last line that is my favorite quote from the show. And that's when he says that throughout our lives, we're different people, right? We're different faces throughout our lives. And that's okay. It's okay as long as we remember the different people that we are throughout our lives. And we grow from that. And that he would always remember who he was. And I love that. As we grow and develop in our own lives, and I could say, I'll always remember me as me. I can remember this moment and the moments before I even started like volunteering or leading organizations. Those different versions of me are vital to my growth and my decision making in all the groups and stuff that I run now. Am I forgetting something? Oh, yeah, of course. So this was the first Comic Con that I decided to get shirts, right? You can go online, you can get geek shirts. On Facebook, you'll see the ads sometimes. You go into Amazon, you see some cool shirts. And I've invested money in some of those, and they've been incredibly disappointing when they get to me. Either the people quick printed them and they didn't size them right on the shirt, or they used cheap material and I didn't know that beforehand. So going to Comic-Con, I was able to pick up some shirts and feel them and decide if I liked them. So I'm going to show you some of the shirts that I'm really excited. Some of the shirts that I got this time. I got this one for my wife. My wife said that just seeing the shirt kind of breaks her heart a little bit because we love Carrie Fisher, and it was so sad to see her go. But it's such a great shirt. It's the right size. I love that picture of Princess Leia. As Doctor Who fans, I was talking about a little bit. As Doctor Who fans, property of adipose. For those of you who don't know what adipose are, they appear in season 4, episode 1. That's when the Doctor ends up with Donna Noble. And adipose are these fantastic little creatures. But you're going to have to watch the episode to really get it. The adipose are pretty awesome. My wife, of course, is a huge fan of Wonder Woman. I was able to get her this very nice shirt. High quality. So, this is what I'm talking about. If you can't hold it and touch it, sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get ahead of time. Going along with the Star Wars theme, we have... That's right. Our Jedi. Or Last of the Jedi, right? Is he the last of the Jedi? We'll see, right?
It's me, Mario.
It's me, Mario. That's right. It's Mario, right? Mario being haunted by the ghosts. I love that shirt. I love that shirt because I grew up on Mario and Mario Kart, Mario 64. Interesting, fun little fact. Register 164 was a mess up. I was going to register an email account and I was trying to do Register 128 and I thought of the Nintendo 64 and I blended them somehow. Long story short, Register 164, there's not 163 Resitors out there. And a little bit of tribute to the PlayStation and Nintendo 64.
And the Xbox.
And the Xbox. There we go. That's right. I don't know who you are, but I will find you. Anybody who's played Mario Kart, right? Anybody who's played Mario Kart knows what I'm talking about. Hate those shells. Unless I'm firing them. Then it's all good. As an avid Final Fantasy player, I had to get this sweet sauce right here. Yeah. Chocobo. I loved riding these guys through the field. I loved racing them in Final Fantasy VII. I'm so stoked about the re-release of Final Fantasy VII. I love the video footage. I really hope they stay true to the story. I don't want them to mess with that. That's one of my favorites all time. Here we go. Got another one coming up. Wouldn't be any good without, that's right, some Deadpool. Now, I love Deadpool. I enjoyed his characters, especially in the fighting games, but I totally underestimated Deadpool until I saw the movie. What a hilarious... Oh, Ryan Reynolds, top notch. Oh, I love Ryan Reynolds. And I'm really looking forward to the sequel to Deadpool. And wearing the shirt, right?
Last one.
Here we go. Oh, I got it upside down. Oh, I'm going to get it right. There we go. Doctor Who. Here's a little Doctor Who for you. It's bigger on the inside. Heck yeah. I love that shirt so much. And it's kind of poofy. So it's got a little bit of texture to it. I'm really excited about these shirts. It's some of my favorite things to get from Comic Con. Like I said, it was a real honor to be there. The cosplayers, there were so many amazing cosplayers walking around Comic Con representing every kind of fandom that you can imagine. And I was really fortunate to represent the League of Utah Writers and meet tons of writers for the conference that's coming up in a couple of weeks. We have a ton of people coming out to that. If you ever get a chance to come to Salt Lake Comic Con, I highly recommend it. If you have the couple extra dollars, the gold and VIP, the VIP is worth it. Not only because you can get into line ahead of most people for autographs and meet and greets, but just you get into the conference a whole hour earlier. And when there's not that many people in there, you get to talk to the vendors and the artists a little bit sooner without the distractions. It's an amazing experience. Now, having been a vendor and a panelist, getting to see some of the behind the scenes is probably my favorite part. You get to hang out with the vendors, you get to talk with them more, but then you get to go up into the green room and you get to hang out with people who are far more famous than you are, and I'm so grateful that they're patient with people like me, and I get to hang out with them and talk with them and learn about some of their experiences. I have yet to meet a bad panelist or a bad star or a bad actor, but just in case you're wondering, all of the autographs that I showed you earlier, I did wait in line to get their autographs, but I didn't wait in line for long periods of time. What I do is I have a set budget and I walk down where the celebrities are sending autographs, and I get to I wait to see whose line is short or doesn't have a line, and I always go over and get to meet them and shake their hands, and they always spend the extra time to talk with you and you get to know them. So I highly recommend taking that approach when it comes to the autographs. I really want to say thank you for hanging out with me. I wished I could have showed you a little bit more of Comic Con. I'll get to show you a little bit more of the writing conference that's coming up in a couple of weeks for the League of Utah Writers that I work with. If you have any questions, of course, you can shoot me an email, or you can reach out to me through my website. I appreciate you hanging out with me.
P.S.
We'll talk to you later.
I have a Twitch channel.
This is the Twitch channel, Resitor164.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe, right?